Welcome back to Untouchable Facts. Today I bring to you the best movie of all time, titled ADHD is Necessary.
Stay connected till the end. This is a movie released in 2018 where the government want all the future leader to be genius, so they implant an embryo in all women. The mothers are given the responsibility to raise the children to become great students. If a child gets good grades, he and his mother will be awarded massively. However, those who do not get good grades have to live in slums called the pigeon cage.
Before we continue, this is Untouchable Facts, a place you can get all interesting videos and their commentary as well. Please subscribe, like and comment to Untouchable Facts. In one of such honor capabilities, Yang Chuan is approached stage. She is viewed as the best mother,
since her late child Ruji was the
smartest understudy there at any point. Had he never scored anything short of an and was Chuan's pride before his passing. At present, John is dealing with her most
youthful girl Nova, who she trusts, will make her pleased like a child.
Chuan has likewise composed a book on how a mother can help her kid in the present society. She's very well known among different mothers who habitually chase after her inquiry.
For tips, a lady in the crowd gets some information about her most profound mystery on how she helped her youngsters. The inquiry takes Chuan aback, yet she rapidly recuperates and makes up an obscure response. The fact that she's concealing makes still it obvious something simultaneously. Some
administration authorities are talking about the ascent of
patients with dosing messes, as indicated by state regulation. Individuals with such
issues are flawed, undeveloped organisms that should be
annihilated. This implies that everybody with dosing
messes should be killed in an Adhd program.
Scientist Yan sees that nearly each individual experiencing a dosing
jungle is an understudy who isn't doing well in school. This could imply that they're being misdiagnosed on the grounds that their degenerate mums would rather not surrender the costly condos that sounds taken away, assuming that the kid bums the semester. Yixian tells the public authorities about his hypothesis, yet they excuse
him.
As a general rule, they likewise need to dispose of the unfortunate understudies who will not be of any use to the country over the long haul.
The progression program is only a cover for them to have the option to kill whoever they need without being indicted.
At the point when Yu Xian begins to
fight back against
the framework he is dishonestly blamed for
running an underground defiant, out of nowhere a revolutionary hinders them,
declaring that the program is a trick. Furthermore, they will be killed.
Alarm follows when everybody begins
taking off, attempting to evade the gatekeepers.
In the midst of it, Chuan's scarf tumbles to the
floor and gets filthy. When everybody quiets down, Nova
goes to the restroom to wash the scarf. She chances upon Lingya, the renegade from
prior and the mother of scientist is
Yan. Lingya appears to know Chuan's confidential
that she hasn't filled anybody in about. She gives Nova key ring, guaranteeing it to
be a gift from her late sibling. Nova is past
confounded, yet she keeps the gift. Later, she sees making it known on a
bulletin scientist Yixian was liable
of running an underground radical
association. Consequently, he was executed. The ghettos where individuals with low grades live. Nova, who has been familiar with
rich life since her introduction to the world, is
bothered at the sight of grimy roads. She grasps her mom's anxiety and
is making an honest effort. However, her grades are
simply not making a difference. In the
accompanying scene, Chuan takes her enough to go to the basic food item shop, not
maintaining that individuals should see the missing light on it.
Anyway, she puts it down and alert. She's removed from the condo. She
will be embarrassed. Just the idea is
enough for her to go areas of strength for 2.
The following day at school, Nova acts all the way unusual. Rather than her standard quiet and
made disposition, she attacks
individuals for not a glaringly obvious explanation and
contends with the
educator when called out for her way of behaving.
When Chuan is accounted for about the occurrence, she quickly brings her
little girl to the emergency clinic. Nova keeps squirming all through the
visit and is inconsiderate to everybody.
Subsequent to assessing the side effects of the
specialist determined her to have ADHD. It is one of
such problems that will make Nova be shipped off a Adhd program. In any case, obscure to reality with regards to the program, she doesn't appreciate it. The next day, Nova unintentionally hits
her educator on the leg. The issue could have been tackled with a straightforward statement of regret. Be that as it may, rather she requests that he watch where
he's going.
The contention heightens when the educator holds her
arm, encouraging her to apologize. Nova frenzies and rushes to the edge of the building, taking steps to leap off it.
Luckily for her, a colleague named
Kaijim stops her in time. Later, Chuan brings Nova home and serves her supper without recognizing what she did before.
Then, at that point,
It's unveiled that Chuan asked her.
go to act that way.
She subtly realizes what occurs in the
Headway camps and needs to get freed.
of Nova by sending her to them on the off chance that she is determined to have a more elevated level
Of ADHD, she will be viewed as a broken,
incipient organism, and subsequently Chuan can proceed.
living in extravagance since Nova's disappointment.
Will not be her issue. On Nova's birthday, Chun knows that her classmates will shower her with gifts to
Make her ADHD look believable, she asks.
Nova to destroy all the presents. Nova agrees, but her usually nice
Character doesn't allow her to be mean.
to the friends who she loves so much. Chuan watches the commotion on her laptop, trusting that Nova will do as told, however she never does. Later, Jizhan gets some information about what
Happened to her yesterday, Nova makes up a reason and changes the point. Zaijian is a person from the ghettos.
despite the fact that he's genuinely great in his examinations.
His grades are not adequate. Subsequently, he
Lives in a little house with his mum.
who strives to pay for his necessities. On arriving at home, Nova apologizes to her mother for not submitting to her orders. It is excessively challenging for her to be impolite.
To her companions, thus, she would rather not
Proceed with the arrangement any longer, all things being equal. She promises to study as much as she can and get good grades.
Later at night, Nova comes across the key ring that the lady had given her.
She shows it to her mother, who is beyond
Surprised.
She inquires where it came from and is mad at Nova for not showing
To her
earlier. Still, she doesn't reveal its
significance. In a flashback, we see that the key ring
was a handmade gift from Chuan's first,
son Rudia. He was a star student one.
who everyone loved. His diligence is the reason why Chuan is
Successful as an author. In the present, Nova starts to work hard. To better her grades, she additionally stops
professing to have ADHD, and shockingly enough, Juan is by all accounts all right with it. Then one day, returning home, she
finds Ling Nao. The lady some way or another realizes that Nova was
professing to have ADHD. At the point when gotten some information about
how she figured out she
urges Nova to peruse the manual that
each mother is given while being
embedded with an undeveloped organism. She likewise uncovers that individuals are
covertly being killed in the progression programs. Consequently, Chuan has been asking Nova to claim to have ADHD since she
needs to keep her honors at the expense of her little girl's life. Nova doesn't need to believe the stranger, but Ling Ya doesn't stop there.
She claims that her brother Ruji's death wasn't an accident. Later that day, Nova reads the article
about Ruji's death and discovers that he was hit by a truck. Deciding to find out the truth, she goes to see the truck driver, who affirms that
Rugia had deliberately ended his life by jumping in front of his vehicle. Nova is shocked because a great student
like Rogia could have been
depressed enough to end his own life.
For the first time in her life, she is
starting to realize the truth of her
presence and her mum's real nature.
At school, she gets some information about the progression program.
Thus, he asks her to hush up, affirming that he knows something
about it, yet is too frightened to even consider talking.
June sees them talking through the observation cameras and accepts at least for a moment that they're a couple. The exceptionally following day, she hesitantly goes to the ghettos to meet Zai Jia and requests that he avoid her daughter. Somewhere else, Nova reads the official mother's guide and confirms that she's about to be sent to the advancement program. Not wasting much time, she runs away from home to Kaijian's home. His mum takes her to a mystery burrow that drives them to a camp of survivors
of the Headway program.
A few group who are thought of as the society's oddballs live there in harmony. It was laid out by Lingna after her child's execution. She accepts that each
Kid is unique and grades don't define their worth. The place is a dream for someone like Nova. Still, she cannot help but feel like she's betraying her mother.
After a lot of thinking, she decides to return home again. When June sees her, she basically asks her to have supper, ignoring the way that
she hasn't been home in hours. Nova apologizes for letting her down yet
once more and vows to concentrate on significantly harder.
This time, she frantically inquires as to whether she
loves her. However, Sean doesn't reply. Later, Nova is in the shower when she feels mixed up and registers that her supper was sedated when she opens her She is in a medical clinic bed encompassed by doctors who declare that she is a
faulty embryo. This means that she will have to go to
the advancement program to be executed.
In the following scene, we see Chon being
implanted with another embryo. It is clear that she was successful in getting rid of Nova and now has a new
chance with a third child. Anyway, on awakening after the
relocate, she thinks of herself as in the burrow that prompts the survivor camp.
Lingya inquires as to whether she is cheerful later.
Killing 2 of her kids, yet Chuan
shows no regret.
She is just centered around her third kid, who she expectations will ultimately make her
glad. In a flashback, we see that Rushir
needed to be a woodworker yet, since his
grades were great. Chuan never permitted him to seek after his fantasies. The tension of being the ideal understudy was a lot for him, which in the end drove him to death. In the present, Chuan informs the police
about the survivors camp.
All the students in it are arrested and killed. In the last scene, Chuan is in an interview to promote her new book. When
asked about her secret to growing an
excellent child, she claims that if you
really want something to happen, there is
always a way. Today's movie ends here. This means that the antagonist win at the end.
Please don't forget to subscribe, like and comment to Untouchable Facts in order to help the channel grow.